Okay, so the first thing for this look is to take my concealer on a brush that I used last time in my last tutorial and apply that all over my eye. This is actually one of my LA Girl LA Colors concealers. I'll have all the colours and everything I use in the description. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is priming my eye with a transition colour, and this is actually Buck in my Naked palette, which is almost out because I love this so much on my skin. And then I'm going to be mixing these two colours, which I think I did in my other video as well, and applying that over Buck. And again, this just makes transition really smooth, or a lot smoother if you didn't have a transition colour. And I'm going to be blending that in and just building up the colour. And as you can see, that I'm actually starting to get a bit of depth to my eyes as well, and I really like doing this because it just helps with the darker shadows as well to just a little bit pop. So that is what I'm doing. I'm just going back and forth, back and forth. Honestly, this is really cut, but I just really continue to build that up. Then I'm going into my favourite shade of my Morphe palette and putting that over the top with the same blending brush, and just kind of bringing that out slightly to the edge of my eyebrows, and just blending that in. Honestly, like, there's no like trick to it and stuff. Then I'm going into my Meet Matte palette, I think, and taking that deep, like kind of like earthy brown colour and placing that into my outer V, and kind of just like blending that out as well, just like making sure it's kind of smoky and blended, and then constantly going in circular motions to blend it out. This is a really basic eye, actually, I have to say. If you kind of know how to do basic, you know, makeup and stuff, that I guess that's how you do it. And then just applying that same colour over the top. And again, this just really helps with the blending. It makes everything look really flawless. And I'm actually using a clean brush for this, and then going back in and building up the colour. So you just want to keep building the colour, which I cut. And then I'm going back in with the concealer and just cleaning up my eyelid because I kind of want it to look a bit sharper. And then again, I'm going back in. So it's just constantly going back in, cleaning up, going back in, cleaning up, until you're happy with it. And I was happy at this point. So I decided to go on to my lid, and I'm just placing a matte white on my lid. Not too much because it's too harsh to my skin tone, and blending that with my finger. So that is literally the eyes. And then I just applied my liquid liner off camera because I made a mess of it this time. And then these new eyelashes that I got from Eylure, which I really like, and then the Enchanted collection, and I just really like the look of them. So this is obviously a really dressed up look. So this foundation that I'm using today is a new one. I haven't actually seen this Rimmel foundation for dark skin. I actually freaked out in Boots when I saw it because Rimmel never does anything for dark skin. So I was really impressed. So I'm applying it with a damp beauty blender, and then a brush, and then a damp beauty blender as well at the end, just to blend it even more. Then I'm using my concealer by MAC, and this is NC 50, I believe, underneath my eyes, just to brighten them up a little bit, and the damp beauty blender so it blends in with my foundation, so it doesn't look too obvious that I've put some concealer there. And then I'm just going to be going in and treating all of my scars and blemishes and spots and everything on my face which doesn't make it look flawless. I have actually a lot of these scars, which tends to take me a lot of time, and I'm actually using two concealers at the moment because I'm in between shades, which is why I'm going back in with a darker shade. So once I've done that, I've blended it out. I'm going to be placing some powder under my eyes, so that will just set my under eye concealer. And then I'm going in with my usual like contouring routine, which isn't really a contouring routine, but there you go. And the contour kit is by Sleek, and it's the medium one, I believe. Then I'm going to be brushing away that powder underneath my eye, and my concealer is actually now set, which is all good, so it will stay in place. Now onto my brows, and this is the same brow routine that I have all the time. Honestly, my brows look so different every time I do them. It's honestly what's going on in the day. They turned out pretty okay in this video, I have to say, but usually my brows are like thick, then they're thin, then they're sparse, then they're clean. One thing I've got to do here was actually clean up my brows with some concealer, and it's really annoying watching it back now because I should have done that. Anyway, now I'm going in with a bit of highlight underneath my eye, and then just slightly contouring my nose, just slightly, not too much because I don't really want to, you know, have too much of that effect. And then I'm going in with a eyeliner for my eye, just to deepen out my waterline, and then I'm going to be smudging that same browny red colour underneath my lash line just to join everything up and make it look a bit more uniform. So that is more or less all the makeup, and now the fun bit is the lips. So I'm using this new lip liner by NYX or NYX, and this is in Brick House, I believe. Just lining my lips and then filling it in. So really basic, really simple, that kind of thing. And then the lipstick that I'm using on top, I found this the other day and I'm so excited. I just love the way this looks. It looks so, I don't know, it just looks so flawless. And this is, gosh, I forgot what it's called, Cherry Skies, I think. And it's just such an amazing shade. I really love it. And it just really pops. So that is actually the end of the tutorial. A really nice quick one for you guys today. Happy Valentine's Day as well. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.